Welcome to Coach's Corner, everybody. Thanks for watching the show. I'm your host, Coach Tripp, along with my buddy, Collin Big C Mcguire. Collin Big C, what's up, brother?
I'm good. How about you, big man? We try to be anyway.
Man, I'm doing great, buddy. Here on Coach's Corner, we try to inspire and educate the mind to think, the heart to feel, and the body to act. Big C was at Alabama. Man, let's start from the beginning, Big C, so everybody gets to know you. You've done your radio show for many, many years. We're going to talk about that and your guests. But let's start from the beginning. You grew up in Greenville, Alabama.
Yep.
Talk about your mom, dad, and your siblings.
I got a sister that's still living. My parents, unfortunately, are both gone. But if my daddy was still here come April the 14th, he'd be turning 104 years old. And my mama, if she was still around come October 13th, would be 100. So, but they lived to be a pretty good age, 88. My daddy was 82 and my mama was 88. Wow. And he was the state editor of the Montgomery Advertiser. So I think that sort of helped me get on up there at Alabama's old saying, it's not what you know, it's who you know. But anyway, he knew a lot of people.
Who knows you?
Oh, yeah. Well, now. Thank you. I appreciate that. I like that.
Big C, let's give everybody a background, man. You grew up there.
Okay, I went to, believe it or not, you know how tall I am. I'm not very tall, but believe it or not, I did play football in junior high and high school. Went to a place called Fort Dale Academy in Greenville, Alabama. And they're in the Alabama Independent School Association right now. But in about a year or so, they joined in the Alabama High School Athletic Association. Wow. And they'll probably be a 1A, at the most, a 2A school. Because it's really a small school. Now, I think is it the student body from the 9th through the 12th grade, how they determine what classification you're in and all that? And it's be like I graduated from a class of 36 people. So and it's a little bigger now, but not much. So, but, you know, I don't know, I might quit doing this, but at 1 year, you had a lot of private schools were recruiting players and winning state championships. And so the state, if you were in the Alabama High School Athletic Association, the student count 1.5, which is sort of insane. But I can understand they got a little tired of these schools recruiting people, which they did, and got away with it. But anyway, I don't know. I think it's sort of settled down somewhat now. But even if you want to go back talking about recruiting, Prattville and Hoover did the same thing when Rush Propst and Bill, what was his name? He was the coach at UAB, and he had to retire because of his back. Can't remember his last name right offhand. But anyway, they did the same thing at one point. But anyway, so they're going to be joining that in about a year from now. And I don't know, it'll be interesting to see how they measure up against them. But but anyway, my dream was since the 9th grade on was wanting to go work with the football team at Alabama. I knew there was no way, as tall as I am, I was going to ever play football up there. But so the next best thing to do was be a manager. Well, so school wasn't. I was more. What is the word I want to use? Okay, the word I want to use, I was academically an underachiever and sort of like athletically an overachiever. If you get my drift. So anyway, make a long story short, I was told the first day of my senior year in high school, if I didn't straighten up, I was going to get a certificate of attendance there instead of a diploma. You know, and the thing I was thinking, I was visioning then when she told me that, I was hanging off the end of a garbage truck for the city of Greenville for the rest of my life, and that wasn't what I wanted to do. So I straightened up, and then, anyway, I decided I was going to go to a junior college for 1 year, and my mama graduated from Judson College, which was a girls' school in Marion, Alabama, and she was familiar with Marion Institute, which was only 4 blocks away, which was a military school.
Right.
So, but the thing was, she sold me on the idea of going there during summer school that year, summer, 76. because it wasn't military during the summer.
Yep.
But and also, if I did well enough, I might could go straight to Alabama. So she sold me real good, and the thing is that was good about Marion Institute. They teach you how to get in the habit of studying. A lot of people don't know how to do that, or just too crazy or whatever. And anyway, I just didn't apply myself. I did a lot after that lady made that comment. I did that year. And I did fairly well that year. But anyway, my grades weren't exactly the best, and I knew I wasn't ready to go to somewhere like Alabama right out of high school. Which now I'm glad I did go to Marion, and it taught me how to study. But also, they had a junior college football team at the time, so I worked with
JV
the football
team. Remember our JV team played them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So did you go down to Marion and play on that football field down there?
I sure did. It's on the JV team at Bama. Yep, my freshman year, I sure did.
Now I was on the press box side. It was strange. Now that 1 year I was there, did play Alabama, and they had people like Stedman Shealy, Don McNeil, Dwight Stevenson. That's three people I can think of right off the top of my head that played it, and we beat them 23-20. Couldn't believe it.
Marion beat Bama JV team. Oh my God.
Yeah. Now, how did y'all do against them that year? Y'all played them, or did y'all put a number on them, or what? Or do you?
I think we did. I think we beat them. I think I returned a punt for a touchdown. Something crazy. Something really, really odd. Yeah.
So you only played them one time, is what you're saying, when you were there?
Yeah, I did my sophomore year. I got redshirted my second year. Then my sophomore year, I was playing JV and varsity. 1982, Coach Bryant's last year.
Oh,
so
wow.
Let's talk about how you got a student manager. You were a student manager for the wrestling team in the 70s. And then
what happened? Yeah, what happened was I got offered that job, and my daddy told me I better take it, so I did. And then what happened was, after the wrestling season was over, that was in the spring of 1970, I got nerve enough to talk to Coach Goose Tree, and I was able to transfer over to the football program. It wasn't that easy, because when I was going to ask him, I waited around 4 hours before finally getting up nerve to ask him. I was extremely nervous, to say the least, because I wanted to so bad. But anyway, he told me the next Monday after spring break, it was right before spring break, to come back. Seeing at 8:30 that morning, I was there, and that was the beginning, and that was a lot of fun. The whole time at Alabama was a lot of fun, though.
All right, Big C, tell a Coach Bryant story, maybe one-on-one.
Oh, this will be a good one. If you remember, I know they had to do this when you were there under Coach Bryant. If you did not make the travels team on Friday, you had to scrimmage. Did you have to go through that?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Okay. All right. This was the day before the Vanderbilt game in 1978 on a Friday. And they told me to go out there, on the field. And when the players come back in, to go back in. And when they help the manager in there, and when we got through doing that, you go back out. Okay, so this is a good Coach Bryant story, really an unbelievable one, what I'm about to tell you. But anyway, make the long story short, I go out there, and then the varsity comes out. So I go, and you remember they had that little tunnel underneath the street there to go in, go in there. And I go, and I'm motoring along, and all of a sudden, I don't know why I did this. I said, "Hey, Coach Bryant, how are you?" And the next thing I heard was, "How'd they look in practice?" And all of a sudden, I remember fear crept into me, because I had to tell him what I remember. I said, "Well, first time they got the ball, they fumbled. The next time they scored, and then I used this word, which you don't ever use in front of him. They looked pretty good." And then a guy named John Summerford, who is now a doctor in T-Town, he was a trainer, came up, and he added in. And when he walked off, Coach, he told me, "Don't ever tell Coach Bryant they look good. Tell them they always can get better. They always, improve. We can get better." So I go back in there, and I'm minding, helping them out. And then I go back out there. And then when the whistle blows, a bunch of footballs and dummies are just thrown all over the field. Looked like if you had a kid, toy room would look strode all over the place with the footballs and the dummies. And then I'm picking up one at a time. The next thing I see is Coach Bryant coming up in his golf cart, and he offers me a ride. Guess what I did? I turned him down. I maybe this makes the story better, but it's true. I turned the big man, and then he went on to do that, and then I had to walk and get the cart. And I mean, I would have been a lot smarter just take him up on the ride. And then all I had to do was turn around, but no, I had to waste a little more time, which he never did. But anyway, that was a pretty good one there with him.
Yeah, Coach Ryan didn't like wasted time at all, man. You were going.
No, you better be there on time also.
Yeah. That's to this day. I'm never late for an appointment, no matter where I am, and I'm a stickler for being early, right?
Oh, yeah.
To be early is on time. To be on time is to be late, and to be late is to be forgotten. Don't let me forget you.
Oh, yeah. That's true. I like that. Yeah, my daddy also instilled that. And also my daddy said, if you are running late, call them up and let them know that you're going to be there, but you're going to just give them a few minutes or something. But always be considerate of the other person.
Big C, where's your national championship rings? You got 2 of them.
No, I only got one, but.
Got one?
Yeah, but here it is, right? Can you see it?
There it is.
I hope you can see it pretty good.
Yeah, you can see it. They're bigger now, it's Big C.
Oh, God. Yeah, they I don't know what. They're a little too much, really, to be honest with you.
Talk about some players, goal line stand. Talk about some moments that were just.
Today, by the way, isn't it ironic? We're doing this today. Today is Barry Krause's 68th birthday.
Oh,
by the way,
really? Oh, happy birthday, Barry!
Yeah, Barry's. Now the goal line stand. I was a guy named Richard Egger and I were managers. And we were running balls on the Penn State sideline. And when the fumble that set up the whole series of events, we were standing right there, and it was like 10 inches away. And to this day, he ain't made it over yet. And there's no, somebody, I read something once, you see all kind of stuff on Facebook and stuff.
Yeah.
I said, well, he scored. No, he did not. He did not get over. Now, I tell you that the play that Don McNeil made to tackle the Penn State guy, I thought he was going to score, and how he did what he did, he made a great play and stopped.
Brother Oliver calls that the greatest effort play he's ever seen. Brother Oliver.
Yeah, well, there's a great coach there, and then another one was Coach Donahue.
He should be in the Hall of Fame. Why is he not in the Hall of Fame, Big C?
I don't know. They need to do something with some assistant coaches to put him in a Hall of Fame, or he needs some kind of big time recognition because he was definitely dedicated, and I think he would have been one assistant that could have worked for Saban.
I think so. I think so too. But I don't know, Big C. We may be a little biased. Coach Bryant's the GOAT. Saban's number 2. What are the odds? What are the odds of our Alabama Crimson Tide having the 2 best ever?
Say that again.
What are the odds of us having the 2 best college football?
Oh, golly, that's pretty astronomical to say the least.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, and Coach Bryant knew. I read a couple of his books. I read Mal Moore's books, Crimson Heart, and Dr.
Oh, yeah, that's a great book.
Yeah, that was a great book. Dr. Galen McCullough wrote a couple of good books on Coach Bryant. And Coach Bryant, Big C, he knew that Alabama was going to have a dip when he left. And I feel like the same thing's happening now. People don't understand, right? Bama fans don't understand.
No, they don't. Now, let me ask you this. If we didn't have this transfer portal and NIL crap that's going on, do you think it would have had 4 losses this past year or not?
I don't know. I can't tell. It's definitely helping parity quite a bit. But it's also hurting the high school kids. But it's how it is. Now, there's 100 guys out there, but only 35 actually play. What does that mean?
Yeah.
That means 2 out of 3 don't even see the field. So
Yeah, that's true.
If they had the transfer portal now, I didn't play till my 3rd year at Alabama. I would have probably transferred. Thank God they didn't, because I wouldn't want to play any place else.
Oh yeah. Well, I think what they need to do, they need to let them maybe have one pass, and then after that, if they transfer again, they got to sit out like they used to. Because I'm not too crazy about them sitting. This guy, like, okay, the quarterback that was at Georgia, I think his name was Jackson. He started off at USC, then he went to Georgia, then he went to West Virginia, and then he went to Rice. I mean, that's 4 or 5 schools in a 5-year period or 6-year period. I don't know. That's just a little too much. And I mean, how do you turn out to be any good if you're bouncing around all over these places? You do got to stick somewhere.
How do you learn you're going to work for some company someday, and you're going to have the boss that you don't like, and you're going to have to get along with them, or you're going to have a coworker that you don't like. I mean, let's face it. I had Lewis Campbell on my show. I love Coach Campbell, man. He taught me so much, but I didn't like him very much when I was there, and he didn't like me. But we learned to get along, As kids, one time they have an argument or disagreement with somebody, they want to bail and get out of town. That ain't teaching you anything.
No. You're right on that.
How about no more walk-ons either? That kills me. I'm a dinosaur. I'm a dying breed.
All right, how's that going to work now? How's that going to work now on that?
I think there's only 105 on scholarship now, and no walk-ons. That's their limit.
You got to do that. I mean, you got to have some people out extra practice. And then you never know, somebody might turn out to be really good. And now you even ended up playing pro football for a little while, didn't you?
I did. I got lucky, man. I was God bless me, and Coach Bryant, he didn't care if you're a yellow, black, green, or you're an All-American from Tuscaloosa or a Yankee walk-on. He didn't care.
No. Oh,
he had no bias or bone in his body unless you were a turd. Remember, he used to call him turds.
Oh yeah. Now you didn't want to be labeled that. Now, if you were labeled that, you were non. What is it? The word? I don't know. He was no good. Might as well. Now, when he labeled somebody when he labeled you that, you might as well. That's the time when you need to move on and get out of
it. Check out of the dorm. I remember when Tommy Wilcox, funny, tells a story when he was from the tower, and he cut somebody. Actually, my roommate in the Bryant Hall, he cut him from the tower because he wasn't in shape. Pack up your shit and go home, number 68 or whatever he said.
Golly.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I remember, I'm not going to mention names either, but I remember there was a guy that that night I was telling you about the JV game when I was at Marion and played them. They had a guy that they signed, would have been a great, great player. And I mean, he could fly, but for whatever reason, he had the wrong attitude. And then he went back to Bryant, and Bryant gave him another chance. And then one day, he mentions the guy's name. Where's so-and-so? Put him over here. And one of the coaches, I remember looking up in the tower, straight up the tower, said, "Coach, he's not here today. Well, just call up the dorm and move his stuff out of there." That was it for him.
Oh,
he gave him a second chance.
Oh,
and he blew it.
Yeah, he blew it.
I mean, if you think about it, Paul, a lot of that stuff, some of it might have been hard or maybe mentally hard, but I mean, some of the stuff that you had to do up there, if you just did it, I mean, just was there, and like you said, be there on time, and just do the right things, that helped you out a lot there. Right. Or at least it gave you an opportunity to go get ahead anyway.
All right, was the grumpy? Am I wrong? I could be wrong on this, but I've only seen him laugh or smile a couple times. Willie Meadows, man, the grumpy.
Oh, he could be pretty funny. I think he was. He was. Oh, I gotta tell you a Willie Maddie story. I don't know. You might have heard this one. The first time I heard it, I thought the person that said it was BSing, but come to find,
No, Willie Meadows was our equipment manager. Grumpy, just old, just get out of my way. You know, one of those.
well, he could be pretty humorous.
Yeah, he can.
Behind the equipment room cage there, but now this is after he retired from the university, and he had a job at the Greyhound bus station down in Tuscaloosa as a clerk. And one day, some guy comes in there and flops down and then goes to sleep on a chair in there. And the day goes by, and he's still there. And the day goes by, and then finally, it was time to shut down the place or tell him to leave. And they try to wake him, and come to find out the guy's dead. And without a beat, Mr. Meta said, "Well, if you got to go Greyhound." Does that sound like something he would say?
That sounds like something Willie would say, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Everybody loved Coach Mr. Meadows.
Oh, my God. Murray Legg, another guy that helped me as a walk-on DB at Alabama.
Great guy. I had him on not too long ago. His birthday was the 22nd of February.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
How's he doing? I haven't talked to him.
He's doing pretty good. He's doing well.
Boy, I would love to get him on my show, man.
Oh, yeah. We can get you that number, too. I got his number.
Well, who else would be a good guest, Big C, on the show? I know you like Archie Manning, Joe Namath, and somebody else you mentioned.
Johnny Musso.
Johnny Musso. How was he on your show?
He was great. And be honest with you, he was my favorite all-time player at Alabama. Because, see, when Joe was playing at Alabama, I was only 7 years old.
Right.
So I'll be honest with you, I don't really remember. I remember him better being with the Jets.
Right, me too.
And knowing that he played at Alabama. Now, I read a lot about his exploits playing on the team there. And as you know, he was really good, but it just.
Yeah, great athlete.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think it's amazing what I read about him as an athlete. He could do anything. And Coach Bryant said he was the best one.
Yeah, track, and basketball, and baseball, everything you could
golf. He said he shot in the high 70s in golf. So that means he had a pretty good handicap there. I mean, a pretty low one there. Probably about 5 or 6 at the most. And I think before his knee went out, he could play any sport. He was good at even pool. He knew all the angles to make the shots and all that.
Yeah, he had good hand-eye coordination, man.
Oh, yeah. That's one thing I never got. But, yeah, I guess. Do you feel like people are born with that?
Oh, yeah, to some degree. Yes, definitely, or some degree. And then the rest is environment and development. But
now, you know, the other coach you had up there, Coach Perkins, Coach Bryant said that he was a running back in high school when they signed him, and you know he had that bad head injury when he was there, and they converted him over to wide receiver. Said he had terrible hands, but he kept on working and working and working at it, and he turned out to be turned out to be an All-American, and then played for the Baltimore Colts when Don Shula was there. And
Coach Bryant had a knack for getting all these athletes and they're actually, high school quarterbacks, and turning them into All-American defensive backs like
Frank
Cole and Tommy Wilcox and all those guys.
Oh yeah. If you really look at it, see that year. Okay, Sprinkle, Wilcox, Benny Perrin.
Yeah, God rest his soul, Benny.
Yeah.
At OCT.
Let's see. I'm trying to think who. There was a bunch of guys that, even though he wasn't a quarterback, but Jeremiah Castile playing DB, and he was a running back in high school. He wasn't and he didn't weigh all that much. He weighed only 100. Now, I don't think you'd see too many 165-pound guys going to Alabama or anywhere in the SEC unless they got blazing speed.
No, he also had a Cobra-like strike, Big C.
Oh, yeah,
he was like Rocky Colburn, 165 pounds. Coach Brian didn't care. He hit like a 200-pounder.
Oh, yeah, he was bad. I wouldn't want to receive a hit from him because I remember they've had the Alabama North-South All-Star game in '79, and that was the first time I ever heard of him. He was delivering blows that night.
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
Yeah. Coach Ryan liked the hard hitters, man. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. And also, you had to do two. If you were running back in the wishbone, if you didn't block, you didn't play. And if you didn't tackle, you probably didn't play DB either.
Nope, you're right. You didn't. You didn't unless you could tackle. I guess maybe that was the only thing I had.
I got a question I want to ask you if I can.
Okay, Big C.
All right. Somebody like Deion Sanders said, I'm not paid to tackle, I'm paid to intercept passes. Don't you think that sort of sets a bad example for these young kids today? Because he's not a very good tackler.
Yeah, that statement was false.
What's that setting in?
Deion being Deion. That's what Deion was. Yeah, you got to tackle. You got to be able to do everything, especially in the pros. You got to be able to tackle, but in college it's the same way.
Yeah.
Anyway, Big C, man, what a joy it is to have you on, brother.
Well, I'm glad we were able to do it. I was afraid we were going to have to do it another day, but I'm glad we were able to do it today, and it did finally work out.
Man, I got a lot of
thank you for your patience too. What now?
You got a lot of fans down here in Pensacola watch your radio show. How can they catch
good.
Your show?
Thank you. Well, I like Pensacola. I need to come down that way.
Yep.
Good town. Good people there, and a lot of Alabama fans down that way.
That's right, Big C. We'll walk the Mcguires from here.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of that place. Never been there, but I heard of it.
All right. We'll put it on your bucket list when you come to Pensacola. Thanks,
all right.
buddy.
Thank you, Paul. You hang in there and appreciate you having me on here. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's been a blast. Thanks, Big C.
Thank you, sir. See you. Hang in there.
Big C, dwarf, little person. What a heart. The heart as big as gold. Coach Ryan loves him. Oh, I wanted to ask him about big little Joe Henley, how little Joe got on. But, man, he's funny. He catches radio shows up there in Greenville. I think it's going to spread across the Southeast. Thanks for watching the show on this Saturday. Have a great sports weekend, everybody. Stay tuned for these important messages. Without them, this just wouldn't be possible. If you like the podcast, make sure you share it, like it, go on my YouTube channel and subscribe. It's free. Talk to y'all soon. So long.
There's a reason why Hill Kelly in Pensacola is the #1 selling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram dealer between Jacksonville and New Orleans. While other dealers have taken advantage of a competitive market with higher prices, Hill Kelly has discounted prices to the lowest of the year. And Hill Kelly in Pensacola won't surprise you with excessive charges beyond the selling price. Come see why people from Milton, Pace, Foley, Bay Minette, Daphne, Gulf Shores, Mobile, and beyond are driving to Hill Kelly in Pensacola to buy their next new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram. At Hill Kelly, the bottom line price and your satisfaction are what really matter. So before you sign, check the bottom line and make the trip to Hill Kelly in Pensacola to see what true local ownership can do for you. At Hill Kelly Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Highway 29 in Car City, Pensacola. Or shop online 24/7 at hillkellydodge.com. When it comes to bottom line pricing, nobody beats a Hill Kelly deal. Nobody.
That's you trying to fix the plumbing yourself to save a few bucks. Doing things yourself doesn't always end well. The same goes for insurance. That's why Auto Owners works with local independent agents who tailor coverage to meet your needs and offer discounts for life, home, car, and business insurance. Because sometimes you need a professional to get the job done right. That's simple human sense.
Hey, Pensacola, are you ready for the madness? Join us at Bubba's 33 all during the NCAA tournament for some great fun. There will be busted bracket giveaways, basketball bingo, food and drink specials, and a whole lot more. Catch all of the games on one of our 54 TVs or create your own team watch party. Bubba's 33 at the corner of Davis and Creighton, the home of March Madness.
Are you riding around in a filthy vehicle? Dirty car no more. Visit Ronnie's Car Wash today to get it shining in no time. They have 3 convenient locations with another coming soon. The unlimited monthly wash packages start as low as $14.95 per month with free vacuums, multi-purpose spray and towels. Visit them in Gulf Breeze, Navarre, Fort Walton, and soon Crestview. Don't wait, wash today. Be sure to see Ronnie's Car Wash on Facebook to see the latest specials and discounts. You'll be riding and shining in no time.
75 years of service in high-tech today. It's Pensacola Glass Company at 433-8348. High-tech is a term often applied to advanced services and products in today's marketplace. And today, glass is much more than a simple pane of brittle, see-through stuff we hit baseballs through when we were kids. Glass is now a product with unique flexibility in both performance and application. And Pensacola Glass Company is growing right along. That's Pensacola Glass Company at 433-8348.
Are you riding around in a filthy vehicle? Dirty car no more. Visit Ronnie's Car Wash today to get it shining in no time. They have 3 convenient locations with another coming soon. The unlimited monthly wash packages start as low as $14.95 per month with free vacuums, multi-purpose spray and towels. Visit them in Gulf Breeze, Navarre, Fort Walton, and soon Crestview. Don't wait, wash today. Be sure to see Ronnie's Car Wash on Facebook to see the latest specials and discounts. You'll be riding and shining in no time.